Hello, so for today's activity we're going to need some paint, a paintbrush, a palette knife, and any kind of utensil you have laying around where you could scratch away at paint. I have a plastic knife and a scraper and don't forget to get a cup for water too. Now the idea here is to scratch away to reveal the blue underneath. So I decided to use a red, and while this layer is still wet, I'm going to grab this palette knife that I have and scratch away into the paint. And then I realized that kind of just want to make a face. I scratched away and it looked like an eye to me, so now I'm going to make a nose and just sort of have fun with the way that this palette knife works with the paint. I can create different shadows depending on how I angle it. I'm going to make a couple little squiggly lines, and that's how I want to play around with the first one. Now I'm going to grab my plastic knife and use the grooves to create some more texture inside. And as always, just experiment with the different kinds of utensils that you have around and see what kind of effects you can get. And for this page, I'm going to be a little heavier on the magenta and bronze color that I have, but I want to paint it in a way where it's going to cause a slight gradation from the red to the bronze. And for this side, I think I'm just going to be a little bit more abstract and just have fun with these organic shapes, see what happens when I just squiggle and swirl and layer and create depth. So I'm going to have some lines overlapping, and that'll create the illusion that there are these lines in the background, which will really give depth to the entire page. And I really like the way that the grooves of the knife create this kind of shadowing effect. So I'm going to touch around different parts of the page with that. And always remembering with the principles and elements of design that you want to keep balance in mind. So if I have one part of the page that is more, I guess, has a darker value, then I want to make sure that that's the same case in other parts so that your eye is moving around the whole page fluidly. For the larger sketchbook, I'm going to incorporate a lot of this raw sienna over here, and I'm going to make sure that I apply a very heavy amount of paint so I can work with it for a long time. And I want to incorporate both pages so that it looks like one continuous piece. And this is a cool technique that I found because I layered the paint with red and then the raw sienna over top. When I'm scratching into the paint, not only am I revealing the blue underneath, but some of the red and the raw sienna too. So you can really see the details when you're looking closer onto the page. So I'm going to have fun with some shapes here. I decided to add some triangles, and now I have this big scraper. And let's see what happens when I just do some kind of squiggly lines. It's so much fun to just work quickly. I have an idea of what I want to do, but I'm not planning this out. It's just like free flowing and letting it happen. Again, you want to work while the paint's still wet. So quickness is key here, and don't be attached. Just kind of go with the flow. Let's see what happens when I do a little scratch over here, a little bit over there. Looking good, just having fun. Really like the way that this bigger sketchbook is turning out. And that's why you have the little sketchbook or scratch paper, because, maybe one works out and maybe the other one you don't really like so much, but that's what art is. It's not always going to be a masterpiece, and that's okay. We're just here to have a good time. Well, I hope you guys have fun with this and leave some comments with photos below.